G'day guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Bird. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. For those of you returning, hopefully today's video is going to help your golf game improve. Guys, are you tired of duffing your chips? Seeing those chip shots screaming across the green? Those easy up and downs turn into an absolute disaster, right? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you why that happens. I'm going to give you some simple drills that you can implement into your next training session that are going to see you become more confident and more competent around the green. So in today's video, we're looking at the closed club face. It's such a common error that I see players make around the green side. I want to share with you guys what it is, how we can affect a change, and the positive outcomes that you're going to see. So what is a closed club face? Simply put, guys, we're setting up to our target, and I want you to imagine you try and draw a straight line between the golf ball, the flag, and the camera line here. And a closed club face is this motion here. So if we were to imagine we have a clock face here, as I'm looking at you guys, this is from my point of view, 12, 6. We've kind of got this leading edge here is pointing in between 10 and 4, okay? That would be considered a closed club face. This we would consider a neutral club face. So the club kind of pointing somewhere between 12 and 6, or maybe even sort of 11:30, 5:30, so maybe just a fraction, a bit of angle. Unfortunately, a lot of players are trying so hard to control the club face that they end up de-lofting the club. That leading edge is now pointing, in the wrong direction, essentially. And we now have to find ourselves a little matchup. And that matchup is where we end up coming undone. So when we get the club face too closed on the way back, we're going to find ourselves having to try to re-loft that golf club. Now, one of the issues that I tend to see players making is as they're taking the club away here, closing the club face, we're trying to keep it towards target, so we end up just steepening the attack angle. And as we work our way down, it's very, very difficult to shallow out that attack angle without having a whole heap of movement. And unfortunately, when we're chipping, we don't have a lot of time to re-maneuver that club. So what we're going to find is players are going to chunk their chip shots. And I'm sure you've hit plenty of chunk chip shots. I'm sure you're probably fed up of doing it. I'm sure you're frustrated with doing it. More often than not, it's the attack angle. And you will hear coaches say, get the attack angle steeper, get deeper, get deeper. Guys, it's not gonna work, okay? We wanna try and shallow that attack angle out. If you're able to avoid the chunk, unfortunately, you've probably got the thin. So from this position here, we're going to find ourselves backing up on the shot, trying to add that loft back onto the club. And as we do, we fall back, the club comes away from the ground, and we end up thinning the golf ball. Guys, unfortunately, neither of those two shots are going to lead to the golf ball getting close to the hole unless that thin hits the flag stick on its way to it. So we need to avoid the club face going back closed because, well, it's essentially hurting your chipping. Guys, it's really difficult to use the bounce effectively. Now you've got your wedge, hopefully you've been fitted, hopefully you've got the correct amount of bounce on the club, but it's there for a reason. It's there to help the club just ricochet off the surface. That's what we want. We want that club bouncing off the surface. If you're closing that club face, if you're trying to keep it square and then you don't make an adjustment, we're going to dig the club in. Well, that leading edge is now going to dig into the ground. You're not going to use the bounce. The only way you're going to get away with that is if you're playing on very, very hard pan lies. And for the vast majority of players watching this video, no matter where you live in the world, there's going to be at least 3 to 6 months of the year where those lies that you're playing from are going to be a little bit wet, a little bit grabby, a little bit diggy, and you're not going to be able to get away with the action of trying to keep that club face closed. But guys, I don't want you just to take my word for it. I'm going to do a demonstration for you, and I've brought my GC quad out here today. I've got my dot on my wedge. I'm using my 60-degree wedge. I'm going to demonstrate to you guys the change in the attack angle, and we're going to see the difference in the shot outcome when we have the club face square versus when we have it neutral. So what we're going to start off with here, okay? I'm going to try to keep my club face square to target, which we know is closed. So I take my normal setup here. I've got my setup template to assist. Got my lob wedge, my standard grip here. So I like to have a neutral grip for this one. Sometimes we see a strong grip that also impacts the way the club works. So nice and neutral. And I'm going to work to try and really kind of close that club face. So I'm going to look at it almost like de-loft it, okay? So my expectation is if I hit this one well, and we've got a little bit of a firm ground here, so the club won't dig as much, the club's going to bounce, the attack angle is going to be steep, and the golf ball is going to fly. We've got a 20-meter shot that we're going to hit here. Oh, yep, the club dug into the ground. Wow, okay. So I didn't turn my body, I didn't turn my chest. That attack angle was 14 degrees down, okay? All through simply trying to keep my club face square to target. My backspin rate was 3,700. The golf ball speed was 31 miles per hour. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't scream great short game control. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys. I want the feeling now of my club face, let's call it opening, okay? So I'm going to be using my wrist with a more of an opening motion. We're gonna set some loft on the club, and that's gonna enable me to use my body a bit better, present the club with a little bit more lofty impact. Hopefully we're gonna have a little bit better launch than 25 degrees with a lob wedge. So get into a setup position, everything's the same. So that one there, attack angle down 7.4 degrees. We've had ball speed 28 miles an hour, spin rate jumped up 1,000 revolutions, so we went up to 4,700, and the launch angle jumped up by 5 degrees. All those things are going to enable us to hit much better chip shots. So how can we go about self-diagnosing, guys? It's pretty simple, okay? There's two approaches. Number one, we're going to have a little checkpoint. So what I'm going to ask for you guys to do is to get into your setup position here. We're going to swing back and we're going to stop it hip high, and we're going to simply check that we've got what is called toe up, okay? So toe working down, toe working up. Our leading edge will be pointing between 12 and 6 on the clock face. From there, we can simply work down and through. So we're going to make our backswing and check. If we find ourselves trying to hood the club face in, fantastic. We can then just work to try to reorientate and be aware of the different movements of the wrist in order to get that club to be working up. So you'll do that before each chip shot that you hit. We're just going to just have a quick double check. Secondly, you can check by videoing yourself like I'm doing for you guys here. Put the camera up behind you. Most players have a smartphone nowadays, so there's no real excuse for not doing it. And you're just going to make some chip shots and make some chipping actions, and you're just checking to see where that leading edge is. Just making sure that it isn't hooked in, because you're going to hit some shots and you're not going to be able to necessarily tell, because feel versus real is a big thing. You might feel like you're adding loft, but we keep checking and we're de-lofting, and all you've done is found a functional way to make that work. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily going to last for a long time. So we want to ensure that we're getting the correct motion. But how can we go about training that, guys? I've got a really, really simple drill that I'm going to get for you guys that's going to help you train better and have you hitting those high softer chip shots in no time. All right, so very, very simple training drill that we can do here. I've set out 2 alignment sticks. One is set to the position where I tend to see players moving their leading edge. So if we draw a straight line off my leading edge here, it would run like a parallel set of train tracks to the alignment stick that's angled out and away from us, okay? That's the incorrect setup. So we want to be aware that this is actually what we're trying to achieve, is this more upright alignment stick. So from here, we would simply check. Now the thing to understand, guys, in the beginning as you're learning, anywhere between these two is going to be improvement, okay? We don't have to have perfectly upright, okay? There can be a small amount of angle of that leading edge, but it can only be small. But we're going to use that as our reference point, our checkpoint. So we're going to swing and check. 1, 2, and then we'll just try to hit the chip shot. So you get a nice little spinny one there. Attack angle only 6.5 degrees down, so we've seen an improvement in the attack angle almost instantly. Strike was pretty good. Spin rate was nice. What are we at? 4,000 spins, so not too bad for a short range shot. But very, very simple and easy to do. Guys, this would be something that we would hit, you know, half our bucket would be focused on just doing this motion. Checking we get the correct angle. Wrists are moving into the correct direction. We just get those nice low little spinners. Again, attack angle 7 degrees down. So regardless of whether it's coming out high or low, and the launch is up at 30 degrees, which is great, we're happy with that, we are finding the attack angle is halved. Okay, so that means that when we get into those softer conditions, I'm going to find it so much easier for the club to be working more neutrally, and I'm going to find it so much easier to be able to clip the golf ball cleanly. And guys, I still look at that and there's plenty of work to do. I've still got a few little things that we can adjust, but we are seeing progress. So guys, there you have it. Struggling with your chipping because that club face is getting too closed. We need to work on getting the club face open. We need to be aware that we want the toe of the club to be pointing a little bit more upright in the takeaway. We want to understand the appropriate drills, so having the alignment stick there as a reference point is a great way to do it. Practice at home, guys. Get in front of that mirror, check the position of the club face, make sure that leading edge is pointing between that 12 and 6, and we're going to see some significant improvement. Guys, simple, easy drills to implement. No reason, no excuse not to get better at our chipping. Guys, I appreciate you taking time to watch today's video, and I really do hope you found it helpful, and I do hope that it's going to help you improve your short game and your greenside chip shots to make those nice soft landing shots when you're out there playing. Don't forget, please, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. Those little thumbs up go a long way to helping my channel grow, which will enable me to shoot and create more free content for you guys. If you know someone that's struggling with their short game, and guys, there's a lot of people out there that are, please feel free to share this video with them. As always, if you drop a comment below, I will get back to you personally. I'd love to know if you try this, has it helped your short game? If you're struggling with your short game, feel free to ask a question. Maybe within this video, I can answer something that might help you improve your game. Guys, above all else, don't forget to subscribe. That's the big one. Subscribe for me, make sure you hit the bell so that you get notified when my videos are released. We're dropping videos each and every week. Until next time, happy golfing.